Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I pushed the live stream back multiple times. I just wanted to make sure I get it right. And still, the presentation is sort of all over the place. My apologies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Friday, and I am happy. I am in such a good mood, and this may be a lengthy live stream. Okay? And I mean, I'm all over the place with this thing because this is so infuriating. Welcome. Oh, yes, yes. Jonathan Payne in the house. D.B. Cooper, Richard Monroe, the infamous Chef Mutt Meat on board in the building. Yes. Lovely Friday. How we doing today? Lala Shopper in the building. Rational Cleanliness. I like that name. Somebody's name is Rational Cleanliness. Oh, yes. All right. Joseph Lopez in the building. Very, very important topic today, people. Very important topic. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. Tammy, what's up? I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I've touched on it many times, but let's really get into it. This is one of the easier narratives to debunk. And it's just so incredible how so many people have been duped to go against their own instincts. This world is hell-bent on fighting against nature. What's the end goal? Our complete destruction? There's nothing to be gained by going against instincts put in us, instilled in us by nature to ensure our survival. No benefit to that whatsoever. Now, this presentation was inspired by a story that surfaced not even a week ago, just a few days ago. Where is that? Here it is, right here. Some of you may have read this story. It surfaced November 10th. One of the more infuriating stories, right? Ashar in the building. Welcome. Boy attacked days after dog's release from animal service. You know what? Before I get into that, I want to show you a couple videos here. This is the perfect way to get this stream started. A perfect way to infuriate everyone. Right? That's my goal. I want to infuriate you. I want you to be as disappointed and disgusted as I am. Okay? This is Caesar. The biggest, you know what? I won't go there. I'm going to try to keep it professional. Let's just say I am not fond of this man. Okay? Now, the title of this video is Facing Fears. And what I want to hammer home in this live stream is that it's very simple. Fear of dogs is a healthy fear. It's not something that you should try to eradicate. Okay? Now check this out.
Now you got it. But the biggest problem here is that Miss Leslie and her grandson can't spend quality time together.
Sorry about that. Just want to make sure there's no lag.
Now you got it. But the biggest problem here is that Miss Leslie and her grandson can't spend quality time together. Because young Mason is terrified of Buddy.
Oh, God.
I really want to help him out with that. And it's time that we bring him together.
Caesar invites Mason to the DPC.
Hey, Mason.
So he can see if Leslie and Buddy's progress has any effect on Mason's fear.
So this is the rules: no touch, no talk, no eye contact. Meaning, don't look at him.
Okay. Now, Caesar says this quite often. Let me replay what he said there.
No touch, no talk, no eye contact.
No touch, no talk, no eye contact. No touch, no talk, no eye contact. That's his 3 basic rules for dealing with dogs, being in the presence of dogs.
Rules: no touch, no talk, no eye contact. Meaning, don't look at him. Okay? You're looking at him.
He's very nervous.
That's my boy.
Okay.
No, you're looking down. Come on, just walk in. No, don't.
Okay.
That's not shaking.
Maybe
Don't look.
Right.
Relax. Come on. There you go. Relax the arm. There you go. When Buddy's in a fearful state, he's so scary to Mason. I was convinced that if Mason can see Buddy calm, then he will be calm.
Whoa.
Just climb.
Now, go ahead.
But I see now there's more to it than that.
It's okay.
Want to sit down now?
It's okay.
Even within the safety of the DPC, Mason is having a response to my litter dogs.
Okay, now. Oh, what? No.
Oh, he's just healthy.
No.
All right. Not ready yet?
No eye contact.
Mason's distrust of Buddy has led to a fear of all dogs.
Now, go ahead. Okay.
Mason is trying so hard to be brave.
Come on, before you leave, pet one. This makes my job so much harder.
I think he's biting him.
No, they're play. I'm going to have to start with something very basic. If I can just get Mason...
Okay, that's enough of that. That is enough of that. Now, what we're dealing with today is cynophobia, a fear of dogs. And the goal of Dog Nuts is to convince you, the public, that something is wrong with you if you have a fear of dogs. And they have laid out several ways that you can overcome your fear of dogs. One of them is to be exposed to dogs. Okay, exposed to dogs. What you should know about cynophobia. Now they're talking about us. This is the offensive part, okay? They're talking about us. Ask yourself, this is what this article says. Ask yourself, do I excessively anticipate situations in which I'm going to be around dogs? Yes. Yes, we do. Do I immediately feel fear or have a panic attack while I'm around dogs or think about being around dogs? Now, I won't say all of that, but we are at an increased state of awareness. I will say that 100%. I'm going to watch that much. If somehow I'm forced to be in the presence of a dog, yes, I'm going to be on high alert. And if you are as well, that means you are a normal human being. The next one, do I recognize that my fear of dogs is severe and irrational? Okay, here is where it starts to get infuriating, because we're dealing with the word phobia. What is a phobia? A phobia is a persistent, excessive, unrealistic fear of an object, person, animal, activity, or situation. It is a type of anxiety disorder. Person with a phobia either tries to avoid the thing that triggers the fear or endures it with great anxiety and distress. Now, you notice that they say an unrealistic fear. We know already that a fear of dogs is not unrealistic. Anything but unrealistic. we have statistics to back that up. We're talking about nearly 14,000 people bitten every single day. Over 2,000 in the emergency room every single day. Between 54 and 82 reconstructive surgeries every single day. There is nothing unrealistic about this. Nothing whatsoever. This is a healthy fear, and I want to try to encourage people to embrace their fear of dogs. Now, they talk about it as if this is only people who have a panic attack, shortness of breath, and things like that. Right? But if you try to avoid areas where dogs may be, they still put you in the same category. You have cynophobia. No, you are a normal human being, and they want to try to desensitize you and cause you to act against your instincts. That's all dog nuttery is. A bunch of people who have been trained or taught to ignore their natural instincts. And that is exactly why they have statistics like this, where 4.5 to 5 million of them are bitten every day. Right? Bravo. That is all they have accomplished. That's all they've accomplished. Because they've sacrificed their own safety for dogs. So they're talking about us. Look at this one. Do I avoid, look at this. Do I avoid situations in which I may encounter dogs? Yes. See at the bottom, if you answer yes to these questions, you may fit the diagnostic criteria set by blah, blah, blah. And this is the offensive part. Your doctor can help. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. I'm going to keep my fear of dogs. Now, I'm mainly talking to the young people here. Kids have a genuine fear of dogs. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some phobias that are unrealistic. Okay, a fear of being touched. A fear of flowers. Okay. Some of these are legit unrealistic. But when you look at the most popular phobias, people, these are instincts to help ensure our survival. A fear of flying. Well, yeah, that's reasonable. A fear of heights. Sort of the same thing. Well, we can't fly. So it would only help us to not want to be on a high surface, an elevated surface where we could possibly fall and kill ourselves. A fear of snakes. Well, many snakes are poisonous. Snakes that are not, they can still kill you. Right? They can squeeze you to death. Arachnophobia. We've all heard of that. Fear of spiders. Well, guess what? There are many deadly spiders. Now let me give you a fun little description of what I'm talking about here. And I want to make this as simple as possible. Right? And I want you to use your imagination a little bit here. Let's imagine that we have two kings of two different kingdoms. And one of the kings has a population of dog nuts. Right? Their population is full of mutts. Same type of dog nuttery you see here in the United States. And the other king his population, they all have cynophobia. Okay? If you want to ever test something, all you have to do is imagine that it affects every single person in the population. And if that population benefits, then it's a beneficial philosophy or affliction, whatever you want to call it. See, the thing is, the king whose population are dog nuts, eventually his kingdom is going to look like this. They're going to die off. Now, I say that because for the majority of our existence, we did not have vets, all these shots, all these different ways to manipulate dogs to make it so that we can live with them. Right? If we were in our natural state or more natural state, for us to live with dogs, that would result in the reduction of our population. That's very simple. That tells you that it's beneficial to have cynophobia, if you want to call it that. See, the other king whose population all have cynophobia, his kingdom is populated. They're safe. Their children are safe. Where the king with the population of dog nuts, they're looking like this. They're sick, deathly ill. This is not rocket science. And I'm pointing this out because I don't like this phobia, as if something is wrong with you for having a fear of dogs, for not wanting to be around dogs. There's nothing wrong with you at all. That is something that nature put inside of you to help ensure your survival. People, can you imagine how many pandemics could have been avoided had we all had cynophobia? The Black Plague would have never happened. I don't believe these current pandemics would have ever happened. There have been several outbreaks, people. And animals were the source of the outbreak. You got SARS and all these different types of outbreaks. If the population was full of people with cynophobia, they wouldn't have had those outbreaks. So how can you possibly project people with a fear of dogs as if there's something wrong with them? Now, big shout out to Four-Legged Plague, who made an excellent video. I encourage you all to go and listen to it. I really enjoy listening to other people. You know, I don't have much time to do it, but when I have extra time, I try to listen to other people's content. And this is a very good video. Four-Legged Plague, you can find this channel in the suggested channels on my homepage. The title of the video is "The Phobia of Dogs is Not a Phobia." This is another video that inspired this particular live stream. Now, you do your research. It's quite infuriating. Every source you find. Look, cynophobia, the fear of dogs. Look at how it starts the definition. It says, get help. No, thank you. No, thank you. Recognizing your fear, discussing it with others, and seeking help will allow you to overcome your phobia. No, because I have this phobia, You're getting mutilated and I'm not. Your kids are getting mutilated. My kids are not. You're sick as the very dogs you love. I'm not. You have to prove that it is against my interests to not be around dogs. Right? Good luck with that. You cannot justify any phobia if you can't prove that it is somehow detrimental to my existence to not be around the things that I have a fear of. It is sad that we even have to go over information like this, people. 100%. Shout out to Rufus Green in the super chat. Shout out to Lala Shopper in the super chat. Shout out to DB Cooper in the super chat. Mr. Cooper says John Carpenter's They Live, one of my favorite movies. Yes, is one of the most polarizing films about brainwashing. You've mentioned it before. Everyone, yes, please, everybody watch They Live. The movie is called They Live. John Carpenter's They Live. It is a good movie that describes these dog nuts to a T. And we are the people who can see. We are the people who can see. Definition after definition. What causes fear of dogs? Like most animal phobias, fear of dogs is most commonly caused by a negative experience with a dog, especially during childhood. Both children and dogs are naturally curious, and you may have been jumped on by an overexcited puppy or growled at by a large watchdog as you approach the fence. Or maybe you were mutilated, maybe you were attacked, maybe you were bleeding profusely and you ended up in a hospital and it took you multiple weeks to recover. If you do your research on cynophobia and the causes, you will notice that they never talk about people who were seriously injured when they were young by a dog. These people are completely ignored when they deal with cynophobia, and it is highly offensive. Highly offensive. Okay? And there are so many offensive. Check this out. This is beyond offensive. People, this is just straight up weird and infuriating. Listen to this. Right? Brace yourself.
Frightened of dogs, fearful of dogs? Are you frightened of dogs, fearful of dogs? Or do you even have a dog phobia? If so, this is the film for you.
Yeah, sure.
Let's start off with some great news. No one is born with a phobia. So if you're phobic of dogs...
Now, let me say I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe if a child saw a dog for the very first time, they would be afraid. This ugly, stinking mutt barking. Yes, they would be afraid. And it's perfectly normal.
Then that's a learning. And to get over this, what you need to do is find out, where did you get that learning from?
Yeah, you need to know that.
So they're telling you that if you have a fear of dogs, then it's a learned fear. Now, I believe it's natural, but whether it's natural or learned, it is beneficial. It is a good thing.
Then challenge the belief that you created then. So that's step one. Step two is to look for positive counter evidence as to why what you're believing isn't true. Because if it were true, then the whole world would fear and avoid dogs.
Okay. He says, if your fear of dogs was legit, then everybody in the world would fear dogs. And I believe, naturally, early in our life, virtually all of us are afraid of dogs. Period. What is learned is tolerating the presence of dogs. We've gone over step-by-step instructions that dog nuts themselves have laid out. And that's exactly what this is. Cynophobia, being a phobia, they have laid out ways that you can treat it, that you can overcome it. So what is that doing? It's desensitizing you. These people are pressured to learn how to ignore the natural instinct put in them to keep them alive, ensure their survival.
So step 2 is always about looking for lots of positive evidence about why dogs are great and how you may have misunderstood and got it wrong.
You hear that? Look for positive evidence about why dogs are great. Yeah.
How you may have misunderstood and got it wrong.
So
how you may have misunderstood and got it wrong. No, these mutants attacking millions of people every year, there's no misunderstanding about that. People being mutilated every single day in the thousands. I'm not misunderstanding anything. You're misunderstanding that. In fact, you're completely ignoring it. And that's the problem here.
there's 4 ways that you can create a phobia. So let's talk about those in order.
Yeah.
First one, copy behaviour. That's top of the list really, because most people, in our experience who have dog phobias, they've copied a parent, mum, dad, older sibling.
That is a lie. I don't believe that. You don't have to copy someone else's behavior. Dogs have long, sharp teeth. They bark. They look aggressive. They look dangerous. It is a natural instinct. It's not copied.
That's the favourite. Second one is actually being told that you've got a phobia. What I mean by
Listen to this.
that is we've had people that when they were small children, an excited dog has ran up to them,
An excited dog.
knocked them over, they've been crying, and then the parents have said, oh, they're crying because they're frightened of dogs, and they've reinforced that over the years, so that person has, basically the parents have created dog phobia.
Yeah.
Again, notice how they never mention people who were absolutely attacked. Severely attacked. People who got their wake-up call that these things are dangerous.
Yeah, so, and then looking for evidence to challenge that belief. I mean, looking at just those 2 events, there was no dog involved. So, you know,
And that's the one where the child was knocked over, there was a dog involved.
Yeah,
but not a nasty dog, there's no reason. An excited dog, a friendly dog.
Yeah, it wasn't meant in malice, and if a friend came up to you and really...
You mean excited? Are dogs the only animals that get excited? No other animal just runs up to people and jumps on them. Stop. They talking about this as if it's normal behavior. Neither humans or animals. Humans or animals. We don't get excited and run up and jump on people. Right? We need to understand this.
Excited to see them, they threw their arms around you,
Yeah.
then you think that was amazing. The fact was perhaps that you were small and it was your stature that knocked you down, but the dog didn't mean any malice. So we've got the 2 points there. The third way that you can acquire a phobia is through what we call transference. And what we mean by that, I think, a good example. Okay, so imagine that you're going, as a child, you're going with your parents to see an uncle, for example, who you really don't like. You don't like going, you get really bored when you're there, but that uncle happens to have a dog. What you can actually do, because of the negative feelings associated with going to granddad, you can actually transfer that to the dog. So you start disliking dogs. Again, dog did nothing wrong, no malice, so you're...
Okay, now I can understand that. Even though I don't believe that that is the cause of any significant number of people's fear of dogs. Oh, I don't like my uncle. My uncle has a dog, and now all of a sudden I don't like dogs. That's a very, very minute percentage of the population.
Protecting yourself from a dog that did nothing wrong. The fourth and sort of another common sort of...
But it's actually the only one where a dog's involved as such, isn't it?
This is actually, that's a good point, because this is the only one, and that is if you might have a trauma. Now when we say trauma, that that might mean, like Nick said, that you got knocked over when you were little, but that's just because the dog was excited and was really happy to see you. It was just that you were quite small. It could be that you've even had a nightmare. I mean, we have worked with people who have had nightmares and then gone on to have a phobia. Or it could be that perhaps you got nipped by a dog.
Well, that's the worst case scenario.
That is.
Being bitten by a dog or being nipped by a dog.
Yeah.
And again,
Now, okay. So the last one, they actually decided to talk about people who were traumatized. And when they decide to talk about people who are traumatized, they don't talk about people who were absolutely mutilated, who had their flesh torn off their body. No, they only want to talk about, oh, maybe you were nipped as a child. This is disgusting, how they completely ignore everybody who's been attacked by dogs, because they know that's a legit wake-up call, a legit reason to not want to be around them.
again, let's look at scales here. As a small child, if you get nipped by a dog, as an adult, it's like having a big gash, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, it feels like children tend to sort of over-exaggerate things. However, even if you did get bitten by a dog, even if you were hurt by a dog, that was one dog. And it is so unfair to blame an entire...
All dogs?
An entire
Of course it
species.
is.
So unfair to blame an entire species. Oh, that was just one dog. Do you know how stupid you have to be attacked by a dog and then respond to that attack after you recovered by making it your mission to be around another dog to repeat the same scenario that got you attacked? Then you get attacked. Let's say you get attacked again. Oh, well, that's just 2 dogs out of millions. Your goal should be to surround yourself by another dog. In other words, they're trying to say that it's good for you to not learn from previous experiences. This makes no sense. It's that simple. It makes no sense. This is ridiculousness at the fullest extent. Now, I want you to watch this video. Okay? This woman is said to have cynophobia. And the way that these so-called experts try to get people to overcome their fear of dogs is to expose them to dogs. If you do your research on cynophobia, you're going to see that's one of the ways they try to treat it. Well, you just need to be in the presence of a dog. You need to touch a dog so that you can get over your natural instinct to stay away from them. That instinct that is keeping you alive, well, and healthy. Right? Get over your fear of dogs so that you can now be in danger physically, and your health will be in danger. This makes absolutely no sense.
We, of course, wanted to help Dr. Landry get over her fear of dogs, so we decided to send her to life strategist Gary Cox.
Is it true I understand that you've never touched a dog in your life? Alright. Why do you want to change this behavior?
It's annoying, and honestly, it's ridiculous. It really interferes with my daily life. I see dogs every day.
Okay, you're letting a dog literally control you. You like that feeling?
You hear that? So if you fear dogs, well, you're letting the dog control you. Get a load of that. It's controlling you.
Time to get over that? Yeah. So if we were to bring in 10 dogs right now, boom, what's the thoughts that go through your head? What's the first one?
Run. It's dangerous.
I'm going to train your nervous system to respond differently than it has been all your life. So I'm going to ask you a question, and the answer you're going to give me is
No problem.
no problem, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring a stuffed animal. Now I'm going to have you touch it. Is that a problem?
Yeah, not a problem.
Very good. Okay, here we go.
Oh, it's so soft.
And that's how a real dog feels. So we're going to go to the next level now. In just a moment, I'm going to sit down with the dog in front of you. Is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I'm going to have you touch it, and you're going to go, oh, it's so soft.
Stop it. Looking at me.
So
Okay.
what?
Okay.
Stop. Why are we doing this?
Take control of my life.
I'm going to put the dog in your lap.
Are you kidding me? She said, "You're not going to control my life." Oh my goodness. People, I don't want to turn this into rocket science, because it's anything but. Okay, what's going on? My stream, something happened to my stream. Oh no, my stream got disconnected. It's reconnecting. Did something happen? Yes, definitely a control freak. Y'all see that? All of these ways, the same thing you saw with the boy is what he's doing with this woman, exposing them to dogs. This goes on inside of their homes, inside of the homes of dog nuts. They force these kids to be around dogs. And it's those same kids that end up being mutilated after they went to try to pet a dog. Numerous stories I've shared where the attack happened only after the child tried to pet the dog. So what's the result of you helping a child get over their fear of dogs? Now it's much more likely that they're going to be attacked by, and if they're not attacked, they're sick, they're infected with something. It does not benefit you at all. It benefits no one at all. And like I said, what inspired this is this story that surfaced where this guy's taekwondo instructor had a dog that attacked this boy. I think it was like only 13 years old. The instructor asked him to move something. He was moving a table. But the dog that was owned by the instructor was positioned where the table needed to go. And his instructor noticed that he was afraid of the dog. So he asked the boy. He said, "Are you afraid of dogs?" The boy replied, "Yes." And his martial arts instructor told him that he should overcome that fear if he wants to become a martial arts champion. So the boy, listening to his instructor, the adult, who's supposed to provide guidance, the boy proceeded to go around this dog. The dog attacked him, mutilated him, bit his face, and he is now scarred for life. So there you have it. That's the result of getting over your fear of dogs. But when you embrace your fear of dogs, you're not going to get attacked. You're not going to be one of these victims. Again, keep in mind, the majority of attacks happen at home, and it's the family dog, or it's at the home of someone you know. In those situations, you are living with the dog, so you're obviously not afraid of it. You're not existing as if you fear dogs. Right? You've overcome it. And what's the result of that? You are now attacked. This is basic common sense that they are trying to erase from the human family. No, that is not going to happen. Not at all. They want you, they want us to sacrifice ourselves to dogs. Many of you have heard the advice to kids, if they're encountered by a dog, to be a tree, to stop, fold your branches, fold your hands, watch your roots grow, and count in your head until help comes. So, let me ask you a question, simple question. Why would you bring something inside of your home and then behave like this so that it doesn't attack you? On what planet does this make sense? This is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. You're going to go out, and this is not just kids. Someone left a comment, and it was so true. And I think I kept the screenshot. I did. They left this comment on a video about cynophobia. She said, people who like dogs are in denial that dogs are predators that can turn on you at any time. She said, I pity the people who've left their babies alone with a dog who has subsequently decapitated the child. Who wants to be them? Now, this sane, rational individual was then attacked for making sense. Well, geez, how severe is your cynophobia? This woman spoke nothing but the truth. Every last one of you dog nuts, you're in denial. And you are praying every day, hoping every day that your dog does not snap and attack you. Because you know full well, if it decides to attack you, there's nothing that you can do. You're going to be at the dog's mercy. This is very simple. You don't bring an animal into your home and become at the mercy of it. You don't bring or own anything that has physical superiority over you. That makes no sense under no circumstances at all. Why would anybody do something so stupid? That's exactly what's going on all across the country. And we are very lucky to have all the hospitals, the medical care, or else we would be extinct by now. And even as it is, with all the technological advances we have, you see we're currently in a pandemic that I personally believe was started by and maintained, 100% maintained by dogs. I had a coworker. He did not own a dog. And his girlfriend bought a dog. Right? He told me about it. About a week after she bought the dog, he was as sick as a dog. Had to call off. And it was because of that mutt. Right? So these things present health hazards and safety hazards. So how can it benefit you to be around them? Can you imagine if you did not know what dogs were? You have never seen a dog. Just picture it in your mind. You've never seen a dog. And you see a man or a woman with this terrified look on their face. And you ask them, why are you afraid? Right? Why are you being a tree? These people in their own home, tiptoeing so that the dog doesn't attack them. And the only answer they can give you is, well, so the dog won't attack me. What's the obvious question? Why don't you get rid of it? If it attacks you, it can kill you. You're going to be torn apart. Rather than being terrified all day, every day, walking on eggshells all day, every day, hoping that it doesn't attack you or anybody in your family, why don't you just get rid of it? What's the only answer they have? Well, I want to rub on it. You understand? This does not make any sense at all, and you can't make sense out of it. I want to send an invitation to the experts, people who have been educated. I want you to refute any and everything that I say. Anything, please. Make sense out of it. You can't. This is one of the dumbest things that human beings are involved in. Embracing the existence of predators that can attack you anytime it wants. Statistics like these should not exist. We should not have to deal with statistics like this. You look at animals, you look at natural animals like deer. They have a natural fear of dogs, right? They have cynophobia. And they get to enjoy an existence where these statistics don't exist. They're not getting attacked and mutilated left and right. Their kids are not getting torn apart left and right every single day. So how would it benefit deer? Do you think it's a smart thing for deer to invite dogs into their herd? You know, I feel dumb just trying to talk sense into people. Just having to refute something like this. Cynophobia? No. Again, when you look at the most common phobias, you clearly see that they are there to protect you, to ensure your survival, your existence. You should never fight against anything that comes natural to you. You know, when you're talking about being afraid of something, you need to examine exactly, is it dangerous? That's the only question. The only important question. Is it dangerous? If you hear about a fear that a person has of anything, the first question is, well, is it dangerous? If the person says, yeah, well then that's a healthy fear. End of discussion. There's nothing else to talk about. Dogs do not use language. We don't know if the dog wants to attack today or in the future. So that forces us to simply hope, cross our fingers, and pray every day that the dog does not decide to attack us. How much sense does that make? How can you argue that you are a sane individual when you live a lifestyle like that? Healthline, as you can see, treatment. Not all phobias require treatment by your doctor. When the fear becomes so intense that you avoid parks, that's us, or other situations where you might encounter dogs, there are a variety of options available. Treatment include things like therapy or taking certain medications, of course. Psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy can be incredibly effective at treating some people, blah, blah, blah. This is what I want to bring your attention to. Exposure therapy. This is the most popular, where people face their fears head on. This is what Caesar was doing with the boy in the video. This is what that guy was doing with the woman. Exposure therapy. Face fears head on. While some people may gain benefit from in vivo exposure therapy or being around dogs in real life, others may gain a similar benefit from what's called active imaginable exposure. Basically, imagining themselves performing tasks with a dog. People, this is so counterproductive. I can't even articulate it. Fighting against nature. In other words, fight against your safety. The end goal is to put yourself in a position where now you're at a much higher risk of being mutilated, being attacked, being infected. How on earth is that a positive thing? There is nothing beneficial about getting over your fear of dogs. Now look, if you start to have health problems where you have a shortness of breath or something like that, okay, maybe you need to do something about that. You don't want to be out, see a dog, and have a heart attack. But you should always avoid dogs. Always avoid dogs. Like I said, if someone invites you to their home, the first question should be, do you own a dog? Because I hate dogs. Yes, you avoid dogs. If everybody avoided dogs, we would not have these mind-blowing statistics. How does statistics like this benefit us? As a group of organisms, how does statistics like this benefit us? Around 5 million dog attacks every single year. And that's only the attacks that are reported. In reality, it's like 15 to 20 million people attacked every year by dogs. Exactly how does that benefit us? The only answer they have, people, is that, well, when the dogs are not attacking us, we can rub on them, which will reduce our levels of stress and anxiety. That's their answer. Now, as we've said many times, you can rub on anything, and it's more effective if you are affectionate towards a human. Not only that, they have CBD. They have many options, natural herbs that can help relieve anxiety, right? Phobias, not phobias, anxiety, tension, everything that they say is beneficial when you rub on a dog. You have many alternatives, and those alternatives are safe. There's no threat of being mutilated. So which option makes more sense? A harmless bottle of CBD oil or a predator? A predator that is going to want to attack you until you feed it over and over and over and over until it recognizes you as a source of food. The very pattern that they follow to get a dog used to them, to view them as its master, is in place because the dog is dangerous. You buy a dog, the first thing you do, feed it, feed it, feed it, feed it. Why? So it doesn't attack you. So you reduce the chances of it attacking you. People are attacked by their own dogs all the time. So you telling me it's in my best interest to put myself in this type of position? No. This is utter insanity. Insanity. This idea that is somehow beneficial to us to behave in a terrorized manner. Don't look at them. Don't talk. Don't try to touch them. If the dogs come around, stand still. terrorized. Okay, so what do I get out of this? Well, you get to rub on them. You get to rub on the same organism that you're terrified of, that you hope doesn't attack you. How much sense does that make? This is far too easy. This is far too easy. The dog nut world, they are going to fear us for good reason. They're going to fear us for talking sense, for using common sense, for being in touch with our natural instincts. This idea that it benefits us to get over our fear of dogs is just as ridiculous as someone saying we should get over our fear of walking in the middle of traffic. Well, you can't be afraid to walk on a busy highway. You have to get over that fear. Can you imagine somebody trying to give you a lecture like that? And this seems a lot more ridiculous, especially for me, when every single day I'm going over numerous stories of children being attacked, being mutilated. People, we are at war with nature itself. It is never beneficial to be at war with nature. And that is this belief that our instincts serve no purpose. This is highly offensive. This natural fear of dogs that we have is healthy. Healthy. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Now, what is this? Yes, this is the video that I told you about from Four-Legged Plague. Now, let me see. There's a portion of this that I want to play just for this live stream.
If you look at the top-rated fears, one of them is the fear of water. Now, the fear of water could be different from taking a shower. Or maybe some people are afraid of, they're not afraid of taking a shower, but maybe they're afraid of being near beach. It is programmed into our nervous system.
Yeah, here it is.
Let's discuss this. So why do we fear things? It is programmed into our nervous system, and it works like an instinct. From the time we are babies, we are equipped with the survival instincts necessary to respond with fear when we sense danger or feel unsafe. So fear helps protect us. It makes us alert to danger and prepares us to deal with it. So fear and phobia are not the same thing. Fear is part of your survival instinct. We as humans do not number in the 7 billions because...
Okay, do you hear that? Phobia is when you... It's more like when you actually have health issues when you're in the presence of dogs. Like I said, shortness of breath, tightness in your chest, your rapid heartbeat, real physical changes. Whereas a fear is healthy and it's going to help ensure your survival. Don't ever let anybody try to convince you that it's in your, that something is wrong with you. Excuse me, that more than anything else. That something is wrong with you. And this is something that these dog nuts push non-stop. That's exactly what they tried to hit this woman with. And she made perfect sense. Really put these dog nuts on blast with this comment. Again, she said, people who like dogs are in denial that dogs are predators that can turn on them at any time. And not only that, if and when they turn, they are going to have the advantage over you. You're going to be at the dog's mercy. These people are lunatics. Lunatics. And I don't get off on talking about these people like this. But they are absolutely crazy. Look, geez, dude, did something happen to you? This is one of the responses they gave to her. Maybe something did. Maybe she is a dog attack victim. Maybe she was attacked when she was a child. Maybe she saw a friend attacked and it opened her eyes to what dogs are capable of. Opened her eyes to the reality that dogs can and do attack unprovoked. Unprovoked. Getting over your fear of dogs does nothing but make a statistic out of you. All it does is put you in danger to be an attack victim. Right? I want to be crystal clear about that. Kids, you have to stand strong. When your parents try to force you to come around dogs, throw a temper tantrum. Scream at the top of your lungs. And you tell them no. Because it's dangerous. I don't care how old you are. 5, 6, 7, 8. They are not going to be able to refute anything you say. Tell them no. It might bite me. If they say no, it won't, you say you don't know that. Tell them. Kids get attacked every day. Check the news. Get on the internet yourself and Google dog attack child. Pull up the images. Pull up the statistics that show that kids are attacked by dogs every day. It is time to be simple and plain about this. And it is so infuriating how they push these types of images that their own experts tell them is a dangerous situation. This is going to stop. Like I said about that library, in all these libraries, bringing these mutts, not libraries, excuse me, hospitals, bringing these mutts around cancer patients. No, we're going to hold you to the standards of your own medical professionals that have laid out how nasty and filthy these things are, disease-ridden, how they transmit diseases like no other entity on the planet. And the same applies here. The same thing applies here. If you are not around dogs, you cannot be a victim of a dog attack. Simple as that. So cynophobia may be a fear of dogs. A phobia may be something that you want to address. Again, you don't want to have a heart attack just because you see a dog. But trust me, you want to be on high alert. You want to move your hand closer to your weapon. You want to keep an eye on that thing. And during this time, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with the people who are not paying attention to those dogs. There's something wrong with the people who sacrifice their safety to the dog. This dog nut culture is a culture that places dogs above humans. The mere act of having dogs in our society is the act of placing dogs above humans. Simply because whenever the dogs want to attack us, we're going to be at the dog's mercy. If you want a pet, now I don't advise anybody to own pets, but if you want a pet, get a pet that even if it does attack you, it won't hurt you. Doesn't that make sense? When you look at the definition of phobia, and they say that it's an unrealistic fear of an animal, there's nothing unrealistic about attacks that take place on a daily basis. If you see a person who has a fear of a rabbit, of a hamster, you might need some help then. Because again, what's the question? Is it dangerous? No. Okay, so why are you afraid of it? I don't know. Now you have a case. Now you have an argument. You have a person that's afraid of, let's say, flies. Right? They have a fear of flies. When you look at the list of phobias, like I said, one of them is a fear of flowers. Okay. Are flowers dangerous? They even have a fear of numbers. Now that truly is unreasonable. You have to hold it up to scrutiny. And cynophobia does not hold up to scrutiny. You cannot call this an unreasonable fear when people are attacked every single day, every single minute of every single hour. Right? And it's fascinating to me that people like Caesar can get on national television and spew this type of pro-dog rhetoric. And if you notice, since he emerged on the scene, dog attacks have skyrocketed. They've skyrocketed. This man is one of the worst things to happen to this world. One of the worst things to happen to humanity. He is the cause of thousands of deaths. Deaths of babies, mutilations, not just deaths. Mutilations of babies, infants. Mutilations of children. The blood is on this man's hands. All because what? He's trying to get people to face their fears. Get over their fear of dogs. All you have to do is look at the results of a thing. And it will tell you how legit it is. It is as simple as that. Right? I don't need to make this a long, drawn-out stream. This is common sense. I don't want to insult your intelligence. Shout out to Charles D. Curry. Says, what I dislike is the mutt owner never get that work. It'll be kids. Yeah. It's usually kids and elderly people. It is so criminal. So criminal. And like I said, in the members area, the dog nut world, the people in high places, they fear us. They fear us 100%. Because they know finally humans are starting to wake up. We are starting to wake up. And once we wake up, it will be impossible to put us back asleep. Impossible. It's not one of those things where, you try and then you go back. It's not like going vegan. You know, where you go vegan for a few months, and then you say, oh, I can't take it no more. I got to go back to meat. See, when you remove yourself from dogs, the quality of life increases. Many people, when they go vegan or whatever they do, they're suffering. If they simply get on a healthy diet, they're no longer eating pizza and hamburgers. These people are suffering inside. And this is nothing, this is the very opposite of that. Once you're awakened to the true nature of dogs, you feel better, you look better, you smell better, and you are a whole lot safer. There is no reason, there is no way, I find it hard to believe that anybody who wake up to the realization of dogs, anybody could go back to being a dog nut. That is what these dog nutters fear more than anything. Trust me, people, we are a part of an extremely powerful movement. This is the most powerful social movement in recent memory. You really got to dig through history far back to find a more powerful social movement than this. And the dog nut industry knows it. People, it's only a matter of time before we are being talked about in the major media outlets by politicians, presidents, right? We are not going anywhere. There are very few social movements that grow and only grow. Their numbers never decrease. That will never happen with this social movement. It's permanent. You can rest assured they're paying attention to us, that they are listening to this live stream right now. So like I told y'all, when I made that appeal to when they took my video down, and it was on a Sunday, they responded to me in like 10 minutes. They're watching us because they know we are a powerful group of people. And I'm loving every minute of it. Now, I want to show y'all something else here. There's another phobia called mysophobia. The excessive fear of germs and dirt. It can lead people to engage in extreme cleaning, compulsive hand washing, and even avoidance of things or situations perceived as dirty, like a dog nut's house. This is one of those phobias, I guess you could call it. I really don't like that word. That is healthy, that benefits you, that is good for you. Now, of course, it's not good for you to wash your hands every 10 minutes to the point where your skin is raw. No. But there is nothing bad about not wanting to be covered in germs and dirt. Again, hold everything up to scrutiny. Look at this. Like I said, they're talking about us. This common phobia can result in people avoiding physical contact with other people out of fear of contamination. That's exactly right. Let me raise my hand. Here. Yeah. I don't want to touch, shake hands, get in your car, go inside of your home. Nasty dog nut. I know all the germs, bacteria, parasites, diseases that these mutants spread. Nope, don't want no parts of that. Where's the Lysol? Where's the bleach? Where's the hand sanitizer? Look at this. Overuse of disinfectants and excessive preoccupation with media reports about illness outbreaks. You dead right. That's right. I keep a close eye on these nasty, disease-ridden people. Anything breaks out, I want to know about it. People with this phobia may also avoid areas where germs are more likely to be present, such as a doctor's offices, airplanes, schools, pharmacy. And to be honest, these things are very contaminated. Anywhere dogs are permitted, they're contaminated. We know this full well. Because realistically, according to their own experts, even if the dog is not there, these different areas are contaminated with dog feces. Because these people are at home with dogs. Well, because dog feces contaminate the very air we breathe, even the air outside. So this is a wacky, wacky, crazy world. And, you know, we're being called to bring sanity to the world. And it is my pleasure. And I'm sure it is your pleasure as well. Right? We can say amen to that. Now, I'm going to digress. Can I digress for a moment? I'm going to digress for a moment. Okay? Bear with me. I'm going to digress. Yeah, good night. Good night, Gling. Jev the Dog Slayer in the building. Google user in the building, okay? So, let me digress briefly. Now, the other day, I made a post. Let me see if I can pull it up here. That I wanted to talk about real quick. See, here it goes. Let me share my screen with you here so that everyone knows what I'm talking about. Give me one moment here. Here we go. All right, let me share my screen. Point. Here we go. Now, these are the members of my channel. And I didn't even know how to check, how to look at the members until, you know, a couple days ago. And I pulled this up and I thought there were only like 10 or 12, maybe 15 at the most. But there was a lot of members of the channel. And I was shocked. I was surprised. I'm like, whoa. And I was humbled, very much humbled. And very much appreciative. Very much appreciative of people who support my channel. These people are financially supporting this channel. These people are saying, look, we want to help you keep the lights on. You know, these people are willing to help me pay the internet bill. I'm not a wealthy man. I essentially live check to check. There have been times when I couldn't pay certain bills. And these people are saying, no, we're going to help you keep the lights on, essentially help you to keep this channel going. You know, when you're having financial difficulties, you really don't feel up to research dog attacks or anything like that. The things that I research. If you try to, you're not going to do a good job at it. And these people are saying, no, we want to help continue a healthy production of quality presentations. And I'm very, very thankful to these people. And if I thank you, if I thank these people, I don't want non-members to be offended. I don't want non-members to be offended. And there was someone who left a comment who appeared to be offended. And I'm going to show you that comment. As a matter of fact, I think I saved it on my PowerPoint. Yes, I did. Let me go back to my PowerPoint because I want to show y'all this. Okay, where is it? It's here. And this is the comment. This subscriber's name is Higher Ground. He said, I see the support of non-paying members doesn't count. It's all about that money, all about that bag. And I was offended. I was offended. Because musicians, for example, they will thank their fans who bought their album. Right? They thank their fans who purchased their album. They don't thank the people who stream it, who download it from, wherever. They don't attack them. They simply don't openly thank them. But I wanted to openly thank the people who became a member to my channel. Because like I said, I'm not a wealthy individual, but I do have a strong passion for what I do here. And the thing is, I'm taking years off of my life. And this is one of the reasons I took a long hiatus. I stumbled across this information that I was literally killing myself. Killing myself. This is exactly how many years stress takes off your life. I deal with stress every time I research this information. And I cannot help it. I can't help it. And it's those daily stressors that literally take years off your life. Right? As you can see here, it's those everyday worries, those everyday stressors. It's the prolonged stress that has a negative effect on your body. So during that hiatus, I was still keeping up with the news every now and then, not every day like I do now. And I said, you know what? No. We all have to die. You can't avoid death. So if I'm going to die, I'm going to die trying to save people. I'm just one life. I could possibly save millions. Millions. And that is something, definitely, that is something to live for. So I accepted the stresses, the stressors. I accepted them. Look at this. I'm at an increased risk of long-term health defects. Right? Heart problems. I accepted it. Because, again, I'm only one life. So to hear someone say that it's all about the money with me. I mean, many of you follow my channel for years. My first 3 years on here, I didn't even offer an option to make donations. for like my first 3 years. I had no PayPal, nothing like that. I usually don't get offended by anything. I was offended by this. And it's unfortunate because I believe this individual has been following me for a while. No. Everybody who's become a member, everybody who's donated to this channel, thank you. Thank you. And I've been thanking non-paying members ever since I've been on here. During the entire time where I didn't offer an option to donate, I was thanking my supporters. Make no mistake, I'm grateful for all my support, all of my support. But I actually have people who are willing to help me to keep the lights on, to help free me up so that I can do this research. As I said in the membership area, yesterday I was doing research for 5 straight hours. Longer than usual. I usually do research for 2 to 3 hours. I'm telling you, an hour will go by like nothing when you're doing research. Even with these live streams, time flies during this live. Already, I'm creeping up on 2 hours. I feel like I just got started. So I did not block this individual. You know, I'm interested to see, you know, what else he or she may say. But I want to reassure my followers or my supporters, everybody who supports this channel financially, you are very much appreciated. And to this individual, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Are you thankful to my supporters, to the members? You know, because I would think that you would be thankful for them, that you would thank them. Like, hey, thank you for helping him to keep the lights on. Thank you for helping to encourage him to continue creating content. If it's all about the content, why wouldn't you appreciate the people who are helping to keep the content going? Right? In my mind, that's the true higher ground. To think on a higher level. To exercise critical thinking skills. Right? I had to address this because I preach this on almost every live stream. Our ability to think. I got more confidence in the human family than this. And I don't want to see people exercise this type of thought process. Right? I'm just an everyday blue-collar worker just like all the rest of you. But I have a passion and really, and I say this humbly, a gift to share information like this. And I'm very, very thankful to the people who support both through comments and financially. You are very much appreciated. So I have more content right now than I know what to do with. As you can see on this stream, I think I'm well over 300. I'm over 300 slides on this presentation. Not this presentation, on my PowerPoint. I'm doing a lot of research, a lot of homework. And I envy Ashley. She has, that's another thing I wanted to touch on. She has a gift of laughter having a good time. She seems to make it a point to have an uplifting spirit, create an uplifting atmosphere. And I hope it's by design. If it's not, it's good either way. Because we are dealing with very sensitive information. Things that could hurt, literally hurt and damage our hearts. Right? And, you know, I want the message to come through a multitude of people. People who can relate to people who I can't relate to. There are only certain types of people that can absorb me speaking. And some people are more receptive to other people's delivery than they are to mine. I want that. You know, I have some people who will come by and say, oh, you know, don't support this person. They just want attention and stuff like that. Look, I want that. I don't care. I don't care if you're a gamer and you know, you're spreading the message while you're gaming. I don't care if you're a single person and you really want to build an internet family and you also have a passion for this message. You know, how can you not? And if you also benefit from social networking, yeah, I want that. Because the goal here is to wake as many people up as possible. And all of these other channels can achieve that, no matter how they get the message out. And it's crucial that it's being put out in different ways. Right? But I digress. But I wanted to touch on that. You know, it's not often that I digress and talk about things like this. I really don't like. I like to stay positive on my streams. And I try my best. I'm not that good at it. I try my best to keep everybody on a positive level in here. You know, we're talking about kids being torn apart, babies being torn apart, and parents who don't care. Actually, parents who deliberately set them up to be torn apart, who set them up to have their health utterly destroyed. This is definitely depressing, very much so. Right? Shout out to Jonathan Payne and everyone who supports this channel. I will be back. What is today? Friday. I will be back tomorrow. I will be back on Sunday. Have far more information than I know what to do with. And again, big shout out to the content creators. And I encourage everybody to watch, to subscribe to their channels and listen to their videos. This is a true bona fide movement. It is real. This is not a game. This is not some type of internet fad or anything like that. This is a real social movement that demands the respect and attention and recognition of presidents, politicians, lawmakers, everyone. We are here to stay. We're not going anywhere, and we are only going to get stronger going forward. And it's that spirit of knowing that we are a legit movement that will help to counter the stressors that this subject matter may cause us. Right? Big shout out to you all. And I hope to see you all on the next live stream as we continue this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners.